Jordan still in concussion protocol?
Yeah, I mean, that's a process that takes multiple days to get through.
Do you ever have any inkling on whether a guy will be available or not once they're in that process?
I would say, yeah, you might have a educated guess, but in terms of that's always a tough one to navigate. There's a lot of steps to getting through that. But I do think just my conversations with people, I have not specifically talked to him today, but it sounded like he was doing better.
What did you think of the hit?
What did you think of the hit?
The helmet, it also looked like Jordan ducked a bit, so maybe it became more helmet to helmet than it would have been, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was a hit to the head. I think they called it the right way, and it's an unfortunate part of our game. Sometimes it happens.
Not knowing Jordan's availability in practice or the upcoming game, does that change how you go about the week preparation-wise with that uncertainty?
I wouldn't say it changes our process. Certainly, there's a lot of conversations that need to be have up until that point, but it definitely complicates things. But that's life in this league.
Now, what did you think of Malik on film?
I thought Malik did a heck of a job. I thought there was a lot of great things that he did, and when plays weren't there, I thought he did a good job using his legs. It's great to have a guy like that can go in and you feel confident can move the football. It's crazy. It's now the second time, at least in my career, where we've lost a game where we haven't punted, and it just so happens it's happened twice this season. So it's unfortunate, but obviously we didn't do enough in the red area. You know, can't have a takeaway there or a turnover there. We had a couple blown calls in regards to just the play calls and the execution of those, and you can't waste plays down there. They're so critical, everyone, and you know we weren't good enough.
What do you make of that? Like, you're best in the league by far if you take like 80% of your games, but there's a game here and game there where it's just hasn't been productive at all.
Yeah, but that's life in this league, and you got to find a way to overcome it. I mean, there's going to be moments where it's not going to be up to your standard, and ultimately, as a team, collectively, you have to find a way to overcome it. And unfortunately for us, we haven't been able to do that in some of those instances.
Malik's ability to run is obviously such a great weapon, but you don't have Clayton Tune available to you when he does it. You expressed concern the last time. Is like Jaden Reed your next option? What do you guys do if something catastrophic happens?
Yeah, I mean, I think most teams in the league, you really you prepare for it and you take a little bit of time, but it's not like you're dedicating a whole bunch of time for those situations in the event that you need to have somebody come in as your third quarterback. Usually, if that happens, it's all bad. So it's, you know, time spent, value received kind of deal. But if it does get to that point, I mean, you have to have some sort of plan. It's just, I haven't seen many of those that are very good plans yet up to this point.
How's your league doing? He looked like he took a big hit at the end of regulation, but then he had to throw to Reed in overtime. How is he physically?
I'd say he's pretty sore. You know, I mean, it's a legitimate deal that he's dealing with, and he's going to be another guy that just we'll see where he's at as we progress, and that further complicates the other problem.
Matt, who's your emergency quarterback?
Well, we have two guys that we can potentially go in there.
You want to name them?
Why?
Curiosity.
Okay. Josh Jacobs is one, and then Jaden Reed is the other.
As far as Malik goes, every time he comes in, it just seems like he moves the offense, to your point. I have no idea what constitutes a starting caliber quarterback in this league, but do you view him that way?
Absolutely. I think 100%. I think he's done a hell of a job. I think we've all seen it, right? I mean, when he's gone in there, we've been able to move the football. We've won games with him as a starter, so we've got a ton of confidence in him and his ability to go in there and win a game if need be.
Matt, you've coached quarterbacks in the league for a really long time. Obviously, you always say about the backup, well, we believe in him, we trust in him. Is it a little bit different with him, though, based on
Absolutely.
everything he's done, right?
Yeah.
What,
It's credit to him. It's his ability. What's so cool about it, and I don't know if you guys get the feel on game day when you're watching it, just how even keel he is. I mean, I don't think his heartbeat even goes up a blip when it's all of a sudden, hey, grab your helmet, you're going in the game. I just don't get any sense. He is just as steady as they come, and I think that's just a hell of a trait to have, because I think most of us probably would be a little bit different in that situation.
So what I noticed last night, you would get Wilson running, then you'd run jet sweep, and you might run a fake jet sweep, which sets back up the run. But that's sort of a Willis package, and is that something you prep for, like if I have to go to Malik?
No, I think that, so outside of a couple of plays in that game, the majority of it was stuff that we had in the plan, period. And it's just all that stuff kind of played off one another, and we just got to them more than we do, in some other games. So that was just a byproduct of that.
Well, when you're doing that too, it looks like you can tire out your defense, your opponent's defense, right?
Sure. Yeah, I think there's an element to that. I mean, the way I look at, just the run game in general, I mean, everybody wants to see the big old uppercut to knock somebody out, and that's usually in the pass game or when you're getting a huge explosive. But if you're just chipping away at it, it's like body blows in a boxing match. And I think the more you're able to do that, it tends to wear down the defense a little bit.
So how do you get a backup quarterback ready? Like this week, Keyshawn credited Malik for being Caleb Williams. So just how do you get a backup quarterback ready during a week when he's not getting those reps?
Yeah, that's always the tough deal. I mean, a lot of it is on the individual, just making sure that you're studying the plan. There's times where, because in practice, he's not getting any reps with the first team offense. So it's how do you take the reps that you get in practice? We always try to put it in our terms, so you're getting so you're going through that process the same way if we were calling to play. And some weeks it translates a little bit better to the plan that we have in place, and some weeks it doesn't. But I think just him being dialed in, taking the mental reps when Jordan's in there, and then doing stuff, whether it's an individual or post-practice, that's a credit to him, to Sean Mannion, to Luke Getzey, to all the guys that are, to Tune, all the guys that are putting in that extra work to get ready to play.
Now, we asked you last night about Josh not having another carry after the fumble, but he was on the field for the hands team, right? Was that an injury issue? Do you have clarity on that now?
Yeah, it's a lot of it was just, we all know what this guy's been dealing with, and he's been fighting to go back in there. I think a little bit of it was, I thought E was running pretty well, and so we kind of were rolling with that. But certainly Josh is as competitive as anybody I've been around in regards to his ability to get himself ready to play and to go out there and be effective. And unfortunately, it was a tough play, but it had nothing to do with why he wasn't in there, later in the game.
How do you come out of it?
I think he's pretty sore.
How is Romeo's wrist?
I'll give you guys updates on that later in the week.
Matt, is it?
I don't think it's anything like too concerning.
Go ahead.
Can you explain what happened on the zero blitz on the tying touchdown? What was the miscommunication?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the semantics of all that because I do think there's some element of scheme involved with that, but obviously we busted it. So we busted the situation because it's a shame. I mean, they had scat protection on, getting 5 out. We had everybody covered. We had a free runner at the quarterback, and I will say, not too many guys in the world can make that throw, and he did a hell of a job drifting away from it, put it in the perfect spot, and unfortunately we just didn't have the defender where we needed one, or at least to make it a contested play. So it's just, if guys bust certain things, I mean, we got to coach it better. Bottom line, we got to coach it better. So when we get in those critical moments, that's when you have to be at your best. And too many times in the critical moments yesterday, we weren't at our best.
What's more upsetting for you as a coach, a game like yesterday where you let it slip through your fingers, or a game where you're just out physical and out executed start to finish? Which one eats at you more?
They all suck. How about that? I mean, it doesn't matter. That's why it's so week to week. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I was proud of the way we played. I thought our guys competed. I thought we were physical. I thought there was a lot of good things we did, but ultimately we didn't close it out, and we didn't make a play here, a play there. I mean, it was 3rd and 20, and it's an unfortunate penalty, but we get a face mask that gives them a first down when the quarterback is under duress. So there's so many plays in there that, we do one thing a little bit different and we have a different outcome, but we didn't. So we have to take our medicine. It sucks. Everybody's bothered, I would say, at a high level because of it. And I mean, it's hard to sleep at night when you have a game like that. But I think whether you have a game like that or a game where you just get buried, the feeling is pretty much the same. Losing sucks. We put a lot of time and effort and energy into this thing, and when you don't get the outcome that you so desire, it should be painful. But bottom line is, we got to deal with it. We got to learn from it, and we just got to find a way to go 1-0. Period. And that's going to be the message to the team.
You played them twice in 3 weeks. Has the thought occurred to you at all that you might see them in 3?
I'm not worried about anything past Baltimore. So I want to get through this press conference and then turn my attention to the Ravens.
Do you allow yourself at all to watch other games and results you might need to improve?
Nope.
No?
We're focused on us, and whatever, the way I look at it, I know it might not be totally irrelevant, but the way I look at it is it's irrelevant. We got to handle our own business, and it starts with, we have a home game, a great opportunity versus a team that's fighting for their playoff lives as well, and in the Baltimore Ravens.
After looking back at the tape, what did you see from your pass rush in the first game without Micah?
There were some good things, and there were some things that we absolutely have to clean up. Like, we knew going into the game, one of the keys was not allowing the quarterback to get out of the pocket, and there were a couple critical moments where he's able to scramble for first downs or make off-schedule plays, and that's what makes him so difficult to defend, because he is extremely athletic and he can get out of things.
Matt, do you have a better idea of what you can do at tight end? Did you ask Goody to go get Mercedes off of the Broncos practice squad or anything?
We talked. I'll say that. We talked, and we have a plan, and we're kind of working through it right now.
Did Christian come out of it all right with his chest and shoulder?
Yes.
Is there anything you can take away from playing Caleb Williams now that you get a similar quarterback in Lamar Jackson? Anything from this game?
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of just how important the rush lanes are, and when you're playing an athletic quarterback, I mean, everybody's got to be on the same page, and you got to do a great job of just owning your responsibility and doing your job.
Matt, I know the league doesn't work like this, but you're basically 3 special teams plays away from being 12-2. Where do you kind of think your special teams are at? And I know Romeo caught everything thrown his direction yesterday, but the game's on the line, and he took ownership for not getting that. Where do you kind of think you are special teams?
Well, I mean, contrary to, I get it. I mean, you're looking at 3 plays that are killer plays, and but I think if you look at the totality, I think our teams have done a pretty good job, especially when you look at our coverage units. I know we're sound in what we do, and I think guys have been competing, and it's not like we're giving up huge returns and things of that nature. It's just unfortunate that there's been a couple moments where it just kind of puts a black cloud over whatever's been done.
So does the good on the whole, in your mind, outweigh those 3 killer play.
I do, but because it's never about just one play. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so we don't field that, but we also had a turn. I mean, every phase contributed to that loss. We had a turnover in the red area. We went 0 for 5 in the red area, and then you got them 3rd and 20. We have a penalty. I mean, it's crazy to think they had 9 points with 2 minutes left in that football game.
What is Malik dealing with injury-wise?
Malik?
Yeah, you mentioned that he was dealing with something.
Yeah, shoulder.
So, Matt, you said these are the games where you don't sleep very well. So you get on the plane, obviously you're pissed that the game went the way it did. But how do you flip the switch then to, all right, my emotions don't matter anymore, now I have to get this fixed, because there's a lot still on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. I just, that's part of it. That's part of it. And, if I can't do that, how can I expect anybody else to do that? So, you come in, as painful as it is, you watch the tape, you make the corrections, you talk as a staff. What are we going to do different? How are we going to get these guys to go out there and try to put them in a position for them to go out and make plays? And then you move on to your next opponent.
After what happened at Denver and then what happened last night, how do you think the guys are going to respond?
I'm very confident, knowing the character of the guys in our locker room, that they'll be ready to roll up their sleeves and get to work.
Matt, I thought through 4 quarters, your defense contained the quarterback, good coverage on those receivers. Here penalties here and there. The touchdown to Moore, they say they came up with on Wednesday and repped it on Thursday. How different did that look than what you guys were prepared for in terms of scouting?
I mean, that's a play that, it's not like they invented something right there that we've never seen before. Yeah, so.
2 more, please.
Matt, just, I don't want to get into the scheme of it, but obviously the bust is a huge play. Given how, Bullard was really good for you last night, I think you'd probably say.
Yeah, he did a great job.
So, but he's been really good in the slot too. Was there any consideration to going with Zane at safety so he could stay there, or was that not part of the plan?
Well, Zane's another guy that we have a lot of confidence in, but I think when you look at it in terms of when you're playing the nickel, we thought it was best because we didn't want to take Bull off the field yesterday. So that was, I would say, the thought behind it, and we thought it was best to give him every rep at safety, just to leave him there the whole game. Hobbs is a guy that's got a lot of nickel background in his past. I thought he played pretty well. I thought he was physical and he fit well. He made some plays, and his availability, just that's why we went the way we went. But we also have a great option in Zane's, another guy that we have a lot of confidence in. So I'd say it's a good problem to have when you have a lot of guys that you're confident in, and it gives you just different avenues to get to where you want to go.
It's been a prepare for a guy like Johnny Walker, who's only played a few snaps this year. How do you prepare for a guy like that? You just haven't seen much.
The same way that you would prepare for every other guy. What's it matter if it's him or Rome out there? You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's been about a week since you kicked off in Denver, and it's been a pretty tough week for your team from the injuries to losing 2 games. You guys had really good shots in. How do you reset? Is this a moment where you need to take any special measures to reset, given how tough the week has been?
no, you just you reset the way you do whether you win or lose. Our guys, number one, have to understand what's in front of them, and I'm a big believer in the energy that you bring in each and every day is going to help put you in a position to go out there and win, whether it's Saturday, Sunday, whenever we play. And so we have to attack it with that mindset. Like, we got a lot in front of us, but all that matters is going 1-0 this week. Otherwise, who knows what can happen? I mean, we control just our ability to prepare for the Baltimore Ravens, and it's going to be a great contest.
So we don't have the TV on in here. Will you have Steelers Lions on somewhere?
No,
we're working?
no, I'll be totally focused on the Baltimore Ravens.